Yes, maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Lotok,
Yes
meron
po,
pa
Your
po bang ibang grupo sa NBI ang nag-imbestiga doon po sa mga utterances ni Vice President Sara Duterte noong November 23 to 24?
During our time, insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, yung Cybercrime Division, Your Honor, and the team that was yung binuo ni former Judge, Director Judge.
So kayo lang po?
At that time, sir, hindi ko na po alam ngayon kung sino yung mga team na, kasi nalipat na po ako sa ibang region, sir.
Okay. Yung tanong ko po kasi ay nakatukoy dun sa taong nakausap o sinasabing na kontrata ni Vice President Sara Duterte para patayin yung Presidente, First Lady at former Speaker. So tinuloy niyo po ba yung investigasyon para mahanap ang taong ito?
Well, aside from the fact, Your Honor, na nag-issue kami ng subpoena sa Vice President para makakuha ng information, kasi we need a validated information, we need a confirmed information. Nung inissuean namin ng subpoena yung mga media personalities, bawat isa sa kanila na nag-appear, tinanong din po namin, nandoon ka ba nung sinabi ito ng Vice Presidente?
Hindi ko po tinatanong kung sinabi ba to o hindi. Dahil may witness rin po tayo nung nakaraang linggo na nasabi nga ito at napanood naman ho natin ito lahat. Ang tanong ko, tinuloy niyo ba yung investigasyon para matukoy ang taong ito?
Nagtanong kami, Your Honor. We tried to elicit information both from those people who have personal knowledge during the online press conference. Unfortunately, wala kaming ma-establish na validated information na confirmed. So, in fact, hanggang ngayon, nag-aantay po kami. Hindi ho katulad dito sa nangyari, may apparent commission of the crime dahil nandiyan yung video eh.
Opo. So ang ibig niyo pong sabihin, bilang NBI, hindi niyo nahanap yung taong ito, pero literal niyo tong, sabi niyo, literal itong pag-assess niyo dun sa statement dahil ito mismo yung nasabi ng Vice President.
Well, Your Honor, if the second highest official of the land sinabi yan, it's hindi ho biro yan. Medyo mabigat ho yan at yung pagkasabi pa niya na may kasamang galit at mga pagmumura. So we took it very serious, Your Honor.
All right, I have a question for the defense. Sa lahat ng mga sagot ninyo, Attorney Vinluan, parang hindi ko nakita na tinanggi ng inyong kliyente o ng depensa na may nakausap ang Vice Presidente na tao para gawin yung mga bagay na ito. Tama ba? Wala ito sa mga sagot ninyo?
We deny that, Your Honor.
You deny?
That is not accurate, Your Honor, and we will present evidence or counter evidence to prove
Okay.
that.
So let me clarify. Sa lahat ng sagot ninyo so far, hindi pa nyo tinatanggi ito, pero in your time presenting evidence, you will deny that there was a person contracted by the Vice President.
Your Honor, to clarify, I don't understand, Your Honor, when we were asked, but
in your
because
answer, you have an answer. There is an impeachment
we
complaint.
denied it, Your Honor. We denied it in our answer, which we filed before the Senate Impeachment Court.
You denied it in your answer?
Correct, Your Honor.
If I remember correctly, ang nabanggit doon ay freedom of expression. Was there an exact statement there na hindi totoo na meron ngang kinontrata ang o kinausap ang Vice Presidente para gawin ito?
We maintain our position that we denied it, Your Honor.
Okay.
It is there in our answer.
Mr. President, I don't want to take up time, but I do want to check the official records and look for this because I don't remember seeing that in any of your answers, Mr.
Your Honor, all allegations were denied.
It's a general denial, a blanket denial.
There were, that was the general denial, and there were also specific denials.
Okay, we'll take a look, Mr. Presiding Officer. Hanapin natin to with, and if I may come back to this once we take a look at the records, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The gentleman may do so at the appropriate time. With the permission of Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, since nakatayo na po si Senator Judge Ejercito, ang papaunahin ko na muna siya. Senator Judge Tulfo, rather Ejercito is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Tanong ko lang, no, just to clarify, may we know if the NBI has the authority to issue subpoena against impeachable officials? Kasi kanina po, no, sa mga pinisend kanina, subpoena po ang inyong pinadala sa Vice President instead of a mere invitation? Yun lang po, clarify ko lang po.
Yes, Your Honor. Under Republic Act 10867, the NBI has authority to issue subpoena. And as a matter of fact, the case involving the Vice President falls under Section 5, Paragraph G, which the NBI has primary jurisdiction to undertake investigation, Your Honor.
Likewise, for the information may we know what constitutes a grave threat that will prompt the NBI to conduct an investigation as compared to a light threat? No, what are the elements that are needed to be present to be considered a grave threat?
Well, for grave threat, Your Honor, if naalala ko siya, if a person threatens another person with the infliction upon the latter's person, property, or honor, or that of the latter's family, with a wrong or with any wrong amounting to a crime, if that threat is with condition or without condition, or with involved with monetary consideration, yun po, Your Honor, yung kabuuan nung sa grave
So
threat.
yung grave threat po, may condition or wala condition?
The crime of grave
Clarify
threat,
lang po.
Your Honor, can be committed with or without condition.
With
based
or
on the
without
law, Your Honor. Yeah.
condition. So as an investigator, have you ever investigated and filed a complaint for grave threats apart from this one?
Again, Your Honor,
As an investigator, have you filed any case or investigated and filed a case for grave threats against anyone aside from this, no? Excluding this one?
I think nag-start po kasi ako as counter-terrorism and then organized crime group and then cybercrime. Wala akong maalala, Your Honor, kundi ito lang. I mean, insofar as my being in the NBI is concerned, Your Honor.
So ito lamang yung ito pala yung kaso na naimbestigahan nyo concerning grave threats, you know?
I think yung iba, may mga naimbestigahan, Your Honor. Pero again, sabi ko, yung sa sarili ko po, yung experience ko from counter-terrorism hanggang sa organized transnational crime group, hanggang sa cybercrime division, ang naalala ko lang, Your Honor, kasi matagal na ho yun kung ano yung nasa record. I think itong grave threats na to is pag hindi first time, doon ko lang na-experience.
Gaano katagal ho kayong parte nitong cybercrime division bago kayo nalipat?
Since 2018, Your Honor, nagsimula ho ako bilang investigation agent. And then 2022, I was designated as chief of the Digital Forensic Laboratory Division. And then 2023, designated as chief of the Cybercrime Division, sir.
So more than 5 years kayong nandito sa cybercrime division ng NBI.
Opo.
That's all, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Ejercito. Senator Judge Tulfo Irwin is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. President or Presiding Officer. I'd like to direct my clarificatory question to the witness on the stand, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Jeremy Lontok,
Opo, Your Honor.
what findings, if any, convince the NBI the motive of the respondent to kill the president and 2 other people? Meron po bang kayong nakitang motibo? Kasi maaari pong sabihin lang nung isang tao sa sobrang galit niya, na pag-usapan na po kanina yan, di ba? Spur of the moment. Pero did you find any motive? Bakit niya po gagawing patayin ang Pangulo?
Yes, Your Honor. As I've said before, when we take into consideration all the facts and circumstances surrounding that issue, nagkaroon ng hindi magandang relasyon yung dalawa, and then nagbato na ang Vice Presidente ng mga salitang mabibigat laban sa Presidente. Pinapakita doon sa October 18 na toxic na nga yung relationship nila. Galit na galit si Sara dahil sinasabi ng Vice Presidente is politically motivated yung pag-attack sa kanya. And then at the same time, pinagtutulungan siya ng buong gobyerno. So, then na-trigger ho yun, if my memory serves me right, nung incident nangyari noong 23 November 2023, 2024. So parang nagpatong-patong na ho siya, convolution ng iba't ibang issue. So nakita ho namin, talagang galit ang Vice Presidente sa Presidente.
Okay. So you saw that the Vice President is very angry, right? Galit po siya. Did the investigation uncover any evidence, if there's any, that the respondent had taken steps to carry out these threats or these statements that she made in public and online? Did you have or did you cover any evidence?
Your Honor, insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, we focuses on the investigation on the alleged grave threats and inciting to sedition. Ngayon, pagdating doon ng whether or not meron na-execute na o may inutusan, I think ang makakasagot po niyan, Your Honor, yung aming director kasi sa kanya po yung pool ng information. At the same time, yung jurisdiction na yan, nasa intelligence service po namin. Kami ho nasa investigation service. So, insofar as the NBI, Cybercrime Division is concerned at that time, nakafocus ho kami sa grave threat and inciting to sedition. But insofar as whether meron na bang in-engage ang Vice Presidente, jurisdiction ho yan ng aming intelligence service at maybe ang makakasagot niyan yung aming director kasi siya po yung recipient ng full of information from different divisions and regions.
You mean the inciting to sedition will be answered by the director, is that correct? Kasi parang hindi po natalakay kanina yung inciting to sedition. Is it?
Well, Your Honor, the inciting to sedition, in our investigation, we were able to establish that those utterances from 18 October 2024, November 23, 2024, and other facts and circumstances, even the November 26, 2024, we believed that those utterances have a tendency, Your Honor, to stir up the people, to go against the government, have tendency to disturb the public peace of the community, the peace of the community, and have tendency to undermine public safety and public order. And I think that's elements of the inciting to sedition, Your Honor.
I have last two questions,
Please proceed.
Mr. Presiding Officer. So you're saying they're intertwined, killing the president and then inciting the people to revolt against the government. They're intertwined. Is that what you're saying?
Based on our findings, Your Honor.
Based on your findings. And what could be the motive of the vice president inciting people to sedition, to revolt against the government, when in fact she will be the next president of the republic? She's been saying, and everybody knows, and she's been claiming. Why do you think? I mean, did you look deeper? Why incite to sedition? I mean, when in fact you're the vice president. Usually, in our country, Mr. Witness, the vice president would run for presidency. What could be the motive?
Well, Your Honor, what we have established is the fact that the relationship between the two were already hostile. And what we established is the fact that the Vice President has committed great threats and inciting to sedition. Yun ho yung focus namin, Your Honor. Insofar as yung mas malalim pa na motibo, wala akong personal knowledge.
All right.
Your Honor.
Well, I'm running out of time. Can you identify the strongest piece of evidence which you relied in deciding to file these cases before the Department of Justice? And what is the status of this case, Mr. Witness?
Well, Your Honor, the pieces of evidence that we attached or we incorporated in our investigation is sufficient and has satisfied the requirements of the quantum of evidence required, which is prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. And the fact, Your Honor, that the Department of Justice has issued certification stating that your referral, your transmittal, has complied all the elements of the crime charge and therefore good for preliminary investigation.
What is the status of the case, Mr. Witness?
It's ongoing, Your Honor. If kung tama ang naalala ko, it's ongoing, Your Honor.
One very, very quick question, Mr.
Kindly
Presiding
wind
Officer.
up, Senator Judge.
Do you think at this point you have an airtight case against the respondent?
I believe so. Yes, Your Honor. Otherwise, the Department of Justice would not issue a certification stating to the effect na kumpleto ang elements namin, na nakuha namin yung requirement, at ready na siya for preliminary investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Tulfo. Senator Judge Ontiveros, Senator Judge Villanueva, and thereafter we pause for a 10-minute break. You may proceed, ma'am. You have 2 minutes.
Salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Lotok,
Opo, yes, Your Honor.
sa affidavit of investigation dated February 10, 2025, nirekomenda ng NBI na sampahan ng mga kasong grave threats at inciting to sedition ang vice-presidente. Pwede po bang idahilan sa mga kasong yan na nadala lang ng emosyon or may matinding trigger kaya nakapagsambit ng ganoon?
I don't think, Your Honor, kasi wala naman ho sa elements ng grave threats yung situation na yon. As long as we were able to satisfy the elements for grave threats, Your Honor, and when the Department of Justice certifies na kumpleto yung elemento doon, so no, Your Honor, hindi ho yan mamatter doon sa findings namin.
At yung sinabi po ninyong elements of grave threats, yun po yung 4 na in-enumerate nyo kanina. Ano pong elements of grave threats?
Yes, Your Honor. Number 1, that a person threatened to inflict another person upon the latter's person, honor, or property, or that of the latter's family with any wrong. That's the first element. The second element, that wrong amounts to a crime. Then the third element is yung may demand for money or may condition na imposed. In our investigation, mayroon hong 3 acts para makommit yung grave threats. Base doon sa 3 elements na sinabi ko, the offender have complied with the threat na sinabi niya. The offender hindi niya na-comply yung threat na sinabi niya, or yung pangatlong act, yung walang condition yung threat na yon, Your Honor.
Mga 2 beses nyo po binanggit yung salitang kondisyon, Attorney Lotok. Itatanong ko yan mamaya-maya. Sa DOJ po, sa DOJ naman, may criteria ng reasonable certainty of conviction bago magsampa ng kaso. Sa
Yes, Your
NBI, yes, Attorney. Sa
Opo.
NBI, ano naman po ang pamantayang sinusundan ninyo bago magrekomenda ng kaso?
Well, sinusunod din ho namin yung quantum of evidence na prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Kaya ho, kung makikita nyo, yung pong aming processes o yung phases, yung pang last po niya is legal evaluation. Meaning, Pag meron na ho kaming conclusion, bago ho namin ito i-submit sa Department of Justice, meron hong referral kaming ginagawa sa legal division or nagpapatulong ho kami sa aming mga legal experts. So sila ho ngayon yung nag-evaluate, sila ang mag-qualify kung na-satisfy na yung requirements at kung pwede na siyang i-submit sa Department of Justice for purposes of preliminary investigation, ma'am.
Alright, salamat attorney. So kahit papaano ina-approximate nyo yung criteria na sinusundan ng DOJ kahit bilang NBI.
Yes, Your Honor, and that is on the basis of our cherished principle, the two-pillar rule in investigation, thoroughness and legality, Your Honor.
Alright, salamat po. Eto, in principle, kailangan po ba ng patunay na may kinontratang assassin para maituring na grave threats ang mga sinabi?
Well, Your Honor, in so far as the crime of grave threat is concerned, hindi po yan kailangan.
Alright. Speaking of condition, kanina na binanggit nyo 2 beses. Posible po ba ang grave threats kahit may kondisyon ang banta? Ibig sabihin yung kapag ito nangyari sa akin, ito ay mga gawin mo. Kahit may kondisyon yung banta, posible po ba ang grave threats?
Very much possible, Your Honor. As I have said, grave threats can be committed with or without condition. And as a matter of fact, meron akong naalalang isang case, SPO2 Jamaica versus Attorney Bangot. Ang sabi ho doon ni SPO2 Jamaica, if I lose my job, I will break your head or I will. So it's for us, it's a kind of event-based condition na matitrigger yung execution ng threat pag nangyari yung event. But then when the Supreme Court nag-decide the Supreme Court at ang sabi niya, the threat was absolute. So it's
Sinabi ng SC
absolute yung threat, Your Honor,
Okay.
hindi conditional. So parang ganito, akin sa situation dito, meron siyang sort of event-based condition na pag nangyari yung event, matitrigger ngayon yung threat na inatter ng offender, Your Honor.
Masasabi pong may jurisprudence po dahil may nakikita kayong paghahalintula dun sa kasong ni rule ng SC, kaugnay ni PO2 Jamaica at itong kay Vice President.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Huling tanong na lang po, Attorney Lotok. Bilang abogado po, as a general rule, kailan po masasabing lampas sa free speech ang pananalita at nagiging grave threats o inciting to sedition na?
Well, we consider the two tests. Number one, yung hindi ko mabigkas, Your Honor, but it's like ano bang tendency rule? If I may, Your Honor, just to refer my notes.
May he, presiding
Just-
officer.
Konti lang
Witness
po.
may do so.
Yeah.
Kindly turn on the mic. Witness may do so, yes.
Thank you po, Your Honor. We consider, Your Honor, the clear and present danger rule and the dangerous tendency rule. But among the two, ang nakita ho namin yung the dangerous tendency rule, meaning if the speech would have a tendency to create chaos or to create illegal acts, then that should be restricted. Pag may tendency ho na magiging ganon ang resulta.
So, huli po, attorney, masasabing bang may parang spectrum pwedeng nagsisimula sa free speech pero pag lumalapit na dun sa dangerous tendency rule ay maaari na talagang tumawid sa magiging grave threats o inciting to sedition. Yon.
Yes, Your Honor. Pwede ho yun.
Alright. Maraming salamat po, Attorney Lotok. Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you. Noted and entered into the records. Senator Judge Villanueva, you have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President, Presiding Officer. Just a few questions to our Witness. Mr. Witness, it's been mentioned several times the importance of your investigation, that it falls under yung prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. And nabanggit niyo po na fulfill po lahat yan, no? Kaya ho siguro nagkaroon ng first report at second report. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you just for the record give us an idea, ano yung mga boxes that you have to fill in para pumasok po dito?
You mean, Your Honor, yung comment ng Department of Justice dun sa first affidavit namin?
Yes, to make it clear na it's indeed goes dito sa pumapasok siya dun sa prima facie evidence with the reasonable certainty of conviction.
Well, basically, Your Honor, yung requirements na binigay ng DOJ from our point of view were administrative requirement. Hindi ho yun yung sustansya ng aming affidavit. Kasi hindi ho namin binago yung affidavit namin, yung pa rin ho yun eh. Ang nakita ho ng DOJ doon, yung affidavit ng